Hi everybody, I'm Amy from the Cauldron, and today I'm going to be doing something that I have been wanting to do for quite a while, which is prepare my own fleece. I have here about 100 grams of very dirty fleece. I don't know what breed of sheep it is from. You can see there's a lot of vegetable matter in this. I've picked out some of the big bits, but I'm just going to leave that for now. I've been watching lots and lots of videos on how to do this, so I thought I would just film my very first attempt at this and see how we go. I have here some hot water that I'm just going to pour all over this, and that hot water really didn't go very far at all. We want to get all the linoleum, can't say that word properly, out of this. So I'm going to do a couple of hot rinses first, then I'm going to add washing up liquid and do a couple of hot washes, and then probably some more hot rinses afterwards. Now I wasn't expecting it to go down quite that much, so I might go and grab some more fleece that I've got. Here's another 200 grams of fleece, and you can see there's still lots of muck in this. So I'll just pull out some of these bits while I wait for the kettle to boil. I've actually got 3 big bags full of this fleece, and I've had it for about a year. I just haven't got around to doing anything with it, so I hope it hasn't degraded in that time. But there we go, kettle's just boiled. And I've just topped this up with some cold tap water, so it's not quite boiling hot anymore. But it is still hot water. This is just cold water from the tap now. It is really annoying not having a hot tap working in the kitchen. It's been quite a few months now and it's very annoying. Yeah, that's probably enough. Yeah, it's still very hot. And I'm just going to poke it down. Now, I don't want to felt this, so I just need to be really careful, like I would be if I was dyeing unspun fibre. This is unspun fibre, it just hasn't quite got to the spinning stage yet. Just try and take some of the big bits of muck out. There, so if you can see how dirty that water is. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave this for about half an hour, and then we'll come back and we'll see how it goes from there. This has been soaking for about half an hour now. Still very warm. You can see just how dirty that water is. So what I'm going to do is to move some things out of the way. I'm just going to very carefully grab all of this. I'm not going to squeeze it. I don't want to felt it. I'm just going to, there we go, just move this over into the sink. There we go. I'm just going to go empty this in the garden. This time I'm going to do a wash. This isn't quite boiling hot, but it's definitely hot enough. And I'm going to add just a little bit of washing up liquid. The reason I've just used washing up liquid is because it's all I've got at the moment. And this is what I use when I wash my yarn once I've dyed it. So I figured at least for my first attempt, oh, that is really hot, I should just use what I've got, and then if I need to get proper wool wash, something else, then I will. But at least for this first time, I'm going to use what I know and what I've got. Yeah, and I'm foaming this up now because I don't want to agitate the fleece once I've put it in here. Add it in, spread it about a bit, poke it down, and already you can see that water is getting pretty mucky. There we go. Try and make sure the water and the soap gets all the way through, so I'm just giving it a little bit of a massage through. There we go. And again, I'm going to leave this for about half an hour. It's been about another half an hour in this soak, or it's wash actually. So I'm going to remove the fleece again. Stick it in the sink. You can see the water is still really dirty. So again, I'm going to go empty this in the garden. The only reason I'm emptying it in the garden is because we do have some problems with our drains at the moment, and I think just emptying this in the garden is just a little bit safer, but it should be fine to empty down your sink normally. This is boiling water from the kettle, and now I'm just adding a bit of cold from the sink, from the tap again, just so I can do this, foam it up. I mean, I think this is getting whiter, it's getting cleaner. There's certainly some sort of whiter patches. It's not quite so yellow. Might get some of the stuff that I haven't washed yet, and just to compare. Now I just want to try and break it up a little bit. Just pull it apart. There's some really, really mucky bits like here. I think I'm just going to try picking out what I can, but I think a lot of this is probably going to get snipped eventually. Yeah, a lot of it is quite matted into this, but there's some really nice white patches. And again, just topping it up with some cold water so that I can actually handle it. And again, I'm just going to let this soak for another half an hour. And I'm going to keep doing this until the water is a lot clearer than it was. So I don't know how many times I'm going to have to soak this. But there we go. I'll come back in about half an hour, see how it's going then. It's been about another half an hour. So again, I'm just going to let this drain off a little bit. See, the water is getting clearer. It's not quite as dirty as it was. So I'm just going to repeat this process again. Not sure how many more times I'm going to wash this. We'll see how this looks in about half an hour. But the water's definitely looking a lot clearer than it was. I wouldn't say it's clean at all, but certainly better than it was. And while the kettle boils, I am still picking out bits of vegetable matter from the fibre. There's a lot that's sort of matted in there, like these little bits here. I'll probably just end up cutting that. But these bits of grass and sticks and all that are quite easy to pull out. Been another half an hour. So let's just remove this again. Oh, this is really very hot. This water is a lot clearer than it has been, and I'm wondering if I need to do another wash or not. I think this time I might just soak it. It's still boiling water and cold tap water. This time I'm just going to soak it without any soap. See how this goes. Oh, it's still very hot. So this has been soaking for, again, about half an hour. And this, while this is really hot and still burning my hands, this water is looking pretty clear. I'm going to stick my hand in it. You can see my hand at the bottom. So I'm definitely going to soak this at least one more time. So far with this, I have done one soak at the start, then 3 lots of washing with washing up liquid, and now this is the second soak after that. So this is still very hot water, and we'll see how clear the water is after this soak, but this could be the last one I do. This has been soaking for about another half an hour. If you see the water that's running off, it's looking pretty clear, which is fantastic. And the water in here, if I put my hands in, it's not completely clear, but considering the colour this was when we started, I think this is pretty good. I am very, very happy with this. Now we're going to dry our fibre. I'm trying not to agitate this too much. I'm just gently squeeze off the water. Now if I had a spin dryer or a salad spinner, something like that, that would be the perfect thing to put this in to get all this excess water off. But I don't. Something I probably should invest in, but I haven't got to it right now. So we're going to try a different way. I have here an old towel. I really need to get some sort of stand that can hold my phone over what I'm doing. I want to give you a bird's eye view, but my tripod isn't brilliant, and I haven't got enough room on this table. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to spread this out as much as I can, and I'm just going to, this is an old towel. This is one that I often use when I'm doing dyeing. There is dye stains on here. So I'm just going to roll this up gently like this and just pat it down like this. And hopefully this will get off some of the excess water without agitating the fibre too much. Now this towel is quite damp now, but I think I managed to squeeze quite a bit of this out. Now I need to put this somewhere to just dry. I would like to put it outside because it's quite warm today, but it's very windy and I don't want this being blown away. This is another old towel that I use for dyeing. As you can see, I've got lots of dye on that, so I don't mind if any muck from the fleece stains this. So I'm just going to spread this out now, separate the fibre that I can. Try not to have too much fibre on top of each other, on top of itself I mean. Yeah. And fingers crossed this will dry. It's this room gets quite warm and it's not used that often, so hopefully this will be undisturbed. So yeah, let's see how. Still picking off these bits. There we go. So hopefully this won't take more than a day or so to dry. So this only took about a day to dry, which was really good. It's quite warm at the moment, so that's probably why it didn't take too long. Now I need to go through all this and pick out all the loose vegetable matter like that, and snip out all the really ground in mucky bits like this. I don't want that. There's a lot in this. It's all quite matted there, so I'm just snipping it all out because I don't want that in my yarn. Yeah, so I'm going to be spending the afternoon doing this now. I have got a little bit here that I've already gone through, and I'm going to card it with my little hand carders, so that this is so that I can spin this. And so all I do with this is get the fibre and just pull it on through these teeth. So it's like like this. I've only done hand carding a couple of times. I am in no way an expert in how to hand card. But, there we go. So I've got them like this. I'm just going to get my other hand carding out and just comb it through. And I know this pulls all the fibre so that it all goes in the same direction, so that you can spin it or felt it, do whatever it is that you want to do with it. So when I've done this before, I've just done this a couple of times to make it all nice and fluffy like this. And then I can gently pull it off. Oh, there's a bit of muck in there that I've missed, so pull that out. And then I can roll this up into a little rolag, and that is now ready for spinning. I really can't believe that I've managed to actually do this. So I'm now going to spend the rest of the afternoon processing this and hand carding it so I can spin it. It's taken me just under a week to card all of this fleece, but now I've got lots of lovely rolags to spin into yarn. I'm really excited about that. Now there were some bits that I couldn't use that I've just saved here in this bowl. You can see some of it's just too matted, too dirty to be able to use. So, and there's still quite a bit of dirt in there, but considering this was 300 grams of raw fibre, this is the only stuff that I'm having to throw away. There are some little bits of muck still in this. I wasn't able to completely clear it, but hopefully those bits will spin out once I start spinning. I've spun most of the fibre onto these bobbins. There is still some left that I need to spin, but I've run out of space on these. Somehow I managed to get quite a lot on this one. Not quite sure how I managed to do that. And this is my poor man's lazy Kate. I don't actually have a lazy Kate, so I've just got this cardboard box and a couple of knitting needles. So now I'm just plying them together. This bit is relatively easy as long as I make sure I spin the right way. When I spin my singles, which is what's down on my bobbins at the moment, I always spin the wheel clockwise. So I remember when I ply them together, I have to spin the wheel anti-clockwise. Now I know these are called Z ply and S ply, but honestly I cannot remember which way round it is. So if I just remember that I spin clockwise for the singles and anti-clockwise for the plying together, then I'm all good. I'll remember. So this is spinning really nicely together. I'm just going to sit here, put something on my laptop and just ply these together. And here it is all spun up. I can't actually believe that I've done this. I've taken raw fleece from this dirty mess to this, something that I can actually use. There is 180 grams of yarn here in total. This one was just over 100 grams, this one was just under. So I've lost about 120 grams of weight, but in that weight there's little bits of vegetable matter like this, and there's lots of matted fleece that I just could not do anything with. So in total, I don't think that's bad at all, considering this is my first time. And it was actually quite easy to spin up. It's quite even for me. Yeah, there's some bits that are underspun and overspun, but in general, it's quite even. And it was really nice just to sit there and spin this yarn. I had a great time doing this. And I just still can't believe I've done this. So now I'm going to go and dye it, and this will appear in one of my dyeing videos later on. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do click like and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this fun little video. I've got more fleece soaking in water at the moment that I've been washing all day. So hopefully this will be the last soak that I have to do. So you'll be seeing more of my hand prepared fleece and yarn in future videos. Thank you so much for watching.